All right, so we're live.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so this is our live Q&A. I'm Sue Van Rays, and we're getting ready for our upcoming Southern Colorado Women's Full Moon Retreat in just a couple of weeks, or actually just less than a couple of weekends away. So we thought we'd come on today and say hello to you, and also if you have any questions or if you have any requests or any comments, we'd love to hear from you, and also just take a little time to share with you what we're excited about and some of the things that go on here at our office. So once again, I'm Sue Van Rays. Thanks for coming over to my Facebook page. And I'm the owner and founder of Boulder Nutrition. And so happy to host women's health and yoga retreats all over the place. This one is a very nice, intimate, local one. So very excited. And our special guest today, Helen Knight, who I work with here at the office. She's going to tell you a little bit about her work too.
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm very excited to be here today and for the upcoming retreat. I am a Reiki master and spiritual alchemist. Work with hands-on healing and work with very highly sensitive people, helping them manifest whatever it is they're looking to improve and bring into their life.
So Helen's coming as our special guest for this upcoming retreat weekend, and she's going to be Master of Ceremony, Spiritual Alchemist, and Priestess for all of our ritual and full moon delights. So we're really excited to have her. Also, we have another special guest coming who couldn't be here today because she is not quite in town yet, is Chef Bailey Jean Reskus, and she's coming all the way from San Diego to join us for our beautiful organic feast during our retreat.
She cooks amazing food.
She does, and we're really excited to have her. Last year she came as a participant, actually, and so it'll be really fun to have her involved this year with her wonderful home-cooked organic meals for us to enjoy. So we thought we'd start off today telling you a little bit about what we're excited about this for this weekend of women, sacred circles of women, and also a little bit about this full moon that's coming up and how we can start to imagine what that can bring forth for us in our lives. So you want to go ahead and start? What are you most excited about, Helen?
I am excited. I've been on retreats and I hold my own Reiki workshops, and I always see over the course of a weekend when a group of women come together, this amazing, magical, healing, bonding energy that happens that can't happen when you're by yourself. And we're going to be setting intentions starting with the full moon ceremony in the evening, setting intentions for the weekend, and then we're going to continue doing that. Some of your workshops, and I'm going to be doing a group healing. And when we're in a group, we all support each other to help manifest whatever our intentions are. And then we're also going to be doing a shamanic journey on Sunday, which I'm super excited about, to see what healing comes through for everyone then. Yeah.
Awesome.
And of course the hot springs.
Yeah, it's a good time of year for the hot springs, just as the weather is turning and the leaves are turning a little bit. I was up in the mountains this weekend and there's some yellow happening, so it should be quite pretty down in southern Colorado by the time we get there. So I get really excited about retreats. I've led a lot of retreats, I've participated in a lot of retreats, but this particular one is really in auspicious timing with the full moon coming. So that was actually sort of unplanned. But as soon as I booked these dates, about a few days later, I was like, oh my gosh, when is the full moon? And it was right on the full moon. So that was just perfect.
Wonderful time.
Yeah, and it's just so beautiful down in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in southern Colorado. I am really excited to be just sort of simple and connected to nature, and both of us will be staying in some of the yurts down there, so that's also a kind of special treat to be able to stay in a yurt.
I've never have.
Yeah, I have only once before, but it's been a long time, and it just feels really kind of almost like camping with a little bit of spice.
A little spice. Okay.
Yeah, and then also these hot springs, I've soaked in these waters a lot, actually. The Sangre de Cristo Mountains have some wonderful hot springs in that area, and they're just really relaxing. So that's a nice feature that we're right there.
And we're going to be soaking in the evening with the moonlight.
I know, it's kind of magical.
It really is.
Yeah, so that's something I'm really excited about. And also, I'm really excited about this circle of women that's forming. I mean, we have just a few spots left, actually, for this retreat, and so we already know some of these women who are joining us, and it's just so far looking like this really awesome group of women who are really excited to be there and sharing in this journey of sacred sisterhood and healthy eating and practicing some yoga and some mindfulness practices, participating in some ritual. So I love being in groups of women that are kind of on a common mission for the weekend, and it provides like a nice sacred container for people who are seeking to have a little bit of illumination with their intentions and what they're up to and how we can help each other and hold each other and kind of keep each other accountable for what we're working on. So that always feels amazing to hear people's process over the weekend.
And we're also just going to be coming off to say that the full moon is marking the last, is a lunar eclipse at night too. So it's a full moon, harvest, full moon, and a lunar eclipse. And it's the third one of 3 in the past month. So this past month might have been really intense for you. You might have just noticed that or noticed people around you. So it's also a beautiful time to, you're finally coming out of it, and a time to reset and step into a new truth that's manifesting for you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited about being able to bring that new energy into our weekend and really use it to move us forward. So we have some questions that people have been asking, and we have some questions that people have been sending. Some of them can't be here for this live version, but we'll be able to listen to the recording. And oh, hi. It's so fun to see who's coming and joining, including my mom. Anyways, so we're just going to kind of hit some of these questions quickly to make sure that we're getting your questions answered. So the first question that we get a lot, and that somebody responded to one of the posts I put up, is what do we do on retreat? So for some people, there's a lot of people around here in our local town of Boulder where we're kind of seasoned retreaters, I guess you would say. But also there's some people who maybe have never been on a retreat. And there's lots of different kinds of retreats out there. So for me, I've led a lot of different retreats over the years in various countries, and sometimes right here in local Colorado for us. The most succinct way to answer that question is we get some space for ourselves. We get some time to unwind, which is very nice in our busy lives. Some time to connect with other women, which of course many of us are craving. One of the things that I love most about what we get on retreat, and one of the things I get most on retreat, is perspective, actually. So like a little bit of a bird's eye view on what's going on for me. What I maybe seeing something from an outside objective place instead of being in it all the time in the day to day. So maybe seeing something like a pattern or a habit or a way of being that maybe I would want to work with or change or heal, or something about my psyche maybe that is illuminated on retreat that I come back with like a fresh view on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And being out of the routine of every day, it allows you that space.
Yeah, exactly.
To pop up. Yeah.
And I've heard that from a lot of other women who've joined us in the past, that they come back with some kind of new, like almost like turning over a new leaf, which is kind of what you're saying about the moon too, like resetting.
It is resetting, and new confidence coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting because I've talked to a lot of women in the past who've come through my retreats, and then I've seen them year, 2, 3, 4 years later, and it's like, well, after that Costa Rica trip, then this happened, or after we went to Bali, this happened, or after our weekend retreat, this happened. And so it sort of is a mark of something, like in the beginning. And I think sometimes we crave that, especially with the season changing.
Yeah, and I also find that's the power of intentions, because you're setting your intentions, and we're going to be doing that all weekend, is then the energy comes in and supports that to manifest. So, to say that's why things start to change afterwards.
Yeah. So a couple things just to get concrete about what we're doing on retreat. We're going to be practicing yoga. We're going to be doing some ritual. We're going to be eating really good food. We're going to be doing a couple of awesome workshops with Helen. Like one will be a shamanic journey. One will be a group healing. Yeah. We're going to do a couple of health, feminine approach to eating and sort of discovering your intuition and wild feminine side. So that will be another focus for some content.
We're going to be bringing in a power animal. The moose is going to be accompanying us for the weekend.
Moose rutting season coming up.
Right, but it's going to be the female, bringing in a powerful feminine energy, so we can allow that to be nourished.
Exactly. And then lastly, plenty of time to hang out with yourself, soak some time in the woods, some hiking, and just some relaxation and restoration. So you can look forward to that if you're interested.
I'll also be doing, in addition to the group work, I'm also going to be offering private healing sessions. So again, over the course of the weekend, if anything pops up for you, or you want to set the energy before we start, I can do some healings either before the actual retreat starts or on Saturday or Sunday. So that's another option.
Perfect. That's a really exciting piece because it can just help you to take what you're working with and make it even more individualized and even more emphasized in your process. So we're really excited about that. So somebody asked the question, what is Helen's role? We kind of touched on that over the last couple minutes. But if you have any more questions, feel free to post them or send them over. Another question, and this is a big one for some of my clients in the nutrition world, is what if I have special food needs or something like that? And we are very equipped to deal with food and health needs.
She rocked it.
Yeah, our chef, Bailey, is going to be very accommodating with any food allergies or food requests at all. And also, just because I specialize in this, I really actually want these retreats to work for this particular support, because a lot of people have trouble when they leave their comfort of being at their home, and it's hard sometimes to go travel, and this is one way that we can really support you in getting away and taking some time and still feeling like you're staying on track with yourself. So that's another one.
One of the other questions are, what are the accommodations like?
Right.
So we talked, the yurt is one option.
Yep, there's some really cute yurts. Yep, and then and there's some shared accommodations, some solo accommodations, depending what people want. And also, there's some lodge rooms that are also either shared or solo, and those are a little bit more like a kind of mountainy hotel room with, nice bedding and comfortable bathroom and all of that, with, nice views of the mountains as well. A little bit less rustic, but definitely awesome. I stayed in one of those last year, and that was perfectly fine and quaint. Also, there's this beautiful view of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains from where we will be, and I think 4 or 5 different hot pools, different temperatures, and there's also the ability to get some spa treatments if people want that in the spa. So we have a beautiful yoga room that is also full of lots of light and wood floors and a nice fireplace, and
we're gonna have a beautiful altar set up.
Yeah, so that will be our group meeting spot. Yeah. Okay, so a couple other things. What have other people experienced being on retreat? So I touched on this a little bit, but, and there's actually quite a few testimonials on my website from previous retreaters. But a couple things that people have really experienced, as I said, is like really getting clear on some old habits or patterns in their life. Maybe having a new beginning or a fresh start with something, connecting with other women. That's actually really cool because I've noticed that like a lot of these women start knowing each other from coming on retreats. Like some of the women who came to Bali with me and they just met in Bali this spring are now coming on our weekend retreat. And like they spent a whole week together, and then they become Facebook friends, and then they start, you know, connecting and doing things, and you know, so that's nice for building community. And then you know, just taking a little break from the day to day. It's sometimes really hard. It's almost like we get into inertia when it comes to leaving town and taking a break from our day to day. But what I notice is that once we do it, once we commit, and once we like get in the car or on the plane or whatever it is, there's a feeling of, wow, this is not, and it's not as hard as we thought. We just like commit to it, give it to ourselves, and then we like take the journey.
Right.
Super helpful.
And the other thing, again, I do Reiki workshops over the weekend, so it's not quite a retreat, but a similar thing happens in the sense of I'm all about really communicating, getting in touch with our intuition and hearing the guidance coming from our guides and our angels, our helping spirits. And when we're doing Reiki, there's lots of, oh my gosh, this really does work. I really am getting a message. And we're going to be doing this in the group healings and in the shamanic journey, where you're going to be opening up to trusting your intuition and what comes in clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, because we all have this ability. Some of us think that we don't, but we do. And so it's just a really question of building that trust, which we're going to have plenty of opportunities to do over the weekend as well.
Yeah. And we support each other in it, so it even sort of builds it even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So we're really excited. There's lots of magic being in this really sacred valley of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. It's called the Bloodless Valley. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
So the Native Americans, when they used to, you know, have that land all to themselves, they declared this the Bloodless Valley, where no battles could take place.
Oh.
So that powerful vortex of a sacred valley. So there's that in itself, which is pretty potent energy.
Very potent, yeah.
Yeah, and then just the beautiful shift of the weather and the transition of the leaves and starting to feel that pulling in feeling of fall that is so nice to embrace when we start to really dig into our own personal, intuitive, wise beings that we are. So that sort of supports it even more. Yeah.
Nice.
So we are super psyched, and we're just about 13, 12 days away.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have just a couple spots left. Let us know if you're interested in coming to join us. And then we thought, for fun, we'd give you a little tour of our office today.
Yes, we're both here at Alpine Wellness Center. Wonderful practitioners here.
Yeah, right in the center of Boulder, just off of Alpine and 11th. Right off of Alpine and Broadway is actually even better. And lots of health practitioners of different sorts here at the clinic. Acupuncture, some therapy, some energy work, some massage. What else do we have going on here?
I think
That pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
I think we have maybe one physical therapist who's here one day a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's craniosacral.
Yep. So, yeah, we're going to give you a little tour just so you can see where we work. And we hope to see you here, or we hope to see you on a retreat.
Or both.
Or both. Or we would love to connect with you in some way. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. And we're going to hopefully get this technology smooth. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you Alpine Wellness Center. Thanks so much for joining us. Stay with us for a second here. Okay. So we'll try to be the least disruptive we can to our fellow practitioners. So this is my office. This is where I see my clients here privately. And yeah, been here for quite a while. It's a nice place to work. And think I'll keep the camera like this.
Okay.
Can't tell. So Helen, maybe you can lead us a little.
Okay.
So here's our reception area. We come in right off of Alpine Avenue here and share this reception area together. And here's a little peek at our pharmacy. Many of us use this shared pharmacy. Chinese herbs, Western herbs, supplements, various things. And we're just going to take a peek into Helen's office. Yeah, here you go. You can make sure to look at your beautiful photography.
Yeah, that's my other outlet of creativity is my photos. So I have put them up around the walls to create a little sanctuary here. And there are photos that I have everyone write their intentions down on. Photo cards. Oops. And that's where we sit and chat a little bit. We do some tarot cards. Very simple. And there's the table where all the magic happens. Alrighty.
Yeah.
And that's another view. Back in your office.
Yeah, we could just finish up.
Okay, back in here.
Yeah. Another one. Great.
Here we are.
Okay, so we just want to say thanks for joining us, and we hope this was helpful and maybe even excited you to join us on this upcoming trip, September 16th to 18th. Joyful Journey Hot Springs, Women's Health and Yoga Retreat, the Yoga of Eating, with special guest Helen Knight, and of course Chef Bailey Jean as well. We look forward to seeing you.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. We
Thank
hope you
you.
enjoyed your time, and we look forward to seeing you again.